Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the webinar. Welcome to Cordicate's webinar featuring Spot AI and Omnilert. Before we start the presentation, just like to introduce Cordicate and its ranges of services. One of the services from Cordicate is security and compliance. We provide strategy, services, and technology to reduce exposure and vulnerability. We also have cloud services. Cordicate IT specializes migrating businesses to Microsoft Azure and cloud. Management services, we offer a comprehensive managed service including technology strategies. Also, IT solutions, Cordicate delivers proven IT solutions and services. And lastly is Microsoft Copilot integration. Cordicate IT integrates Microsoft Copilot into Windows and Office 365. For more information about any or all of these services, you can contact Jeff Moser, our CTO, at jmoser@cordicate.com. Joe Peters, our VP of Sales, at jpeters@cordicate.com, or JT Urenson, our Director of Sales, at jt@cordicate.com. Before we start, a little housekeeping. All questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. You can enter all your questions in the Q&A and chat section. With that, I'll introduce the first presenter, Jack Greeley from Spot AI. Jack is the Enterprise Account Executive. Welcome, Jack, and I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone taking the time to jump on here and take a peek at obviously what Spot AI and Cordicate have to offer here. So I'm going to be presenting on Spot AI. We are an AI company that operates within the security space. Like Jack said, I'll be happy to answer any questions at the end of the webinar here, but just wanted to go ahead and provide you a little bit of presentations. So like I mentioned, I'm an enterprise account executive over at Spot AI. Now, with that being said, what we have to go in and offer here is we're actually the market leader in AI camera systems that are deployed at thousands of locations across the United States in about 17 different industries. Now, where we came to be is the love from our customers has ultimately led to about $100 million in financing from top venture capitalist firms like Bessemer, Redpoint, Scale Ventures. And our founders actually ran the R&D teams at Cisco Meraki and Samsara, where they drove innovation of cloud networking, video technology, and most importantly, AI. Now, like I said before, we're an AI company that operates in the security space. Our AI has actually been compared and shared headlines, as you can see here, on Forbes with that of OpenAI, which most of us probably know are famously known for their Chat GPT product that probably a lot of us use in our day-to-day life. Now, why this ultimately matters for you is that AI is changing the way that business runs. So just like you won't buy a computer without internet connectivity and Intel chips in 1995, you shouldn't buy a system without AI capabilities to run large foundational models. Now, what you can see here is within the security space, specifically related to AI, is in the 2010s, and even leading up to now, you get a little bit of like a motion event, a people presence event, a vehicle presence event that you can maybe get notified for. Today, what these systems are looking like now is with AI is you can get a multitude of different things here, whether it's, forklift near misses in like a manufacturing environment, a fighting event, people jumping a fence to enter a building, facial recognition to see anyone that you may or may not want on the property. All of these things are natively built into the Spot AI platform that can easily give you the level of security, safety, or operational efficiency that you may be looking for. Now, what this ultimately looks like within Spot AI is how we typically see it is a lot of decision makers are choosing their camera system from a few different options. They're ultimately looking for something that's going to last them about 3 to 5 years. They may want to use their existing cameras to avoid a root canal of investments they've already made, whether that's cameras or software. And then they want something that's ultimately relevant in today's AI first world and supports them with answering the questions that they may have in the future. Now, what ultimately solves this for our customers is the intelligent video recorder that you'll see on the left-hand side of your screen. What this actually enables is we're a camera agnostic company. So you can plug any cameras that you already have into it, or of course you can get some from Spot AI as well. We're fast and low bandwidth because analyzing video at its source on the IVR is going to be the fastest and least bandwidth intensive way to run AI on video. We have elastic AI and storage, so you can get room to grow into your system. And in terms of AI capabilities and storage needs, importantly, you can access it anywhere and anytime. So you can slice and shape your video data in any way that you need. And just like other software today, you can get your intelligence and insights as well as your live video on any device from anywhere. You can get unlimited users to accomplish this. And then lastly, we're system agnostic. So you can push and pull data and insights from any software you have already through other platforms. So whether it's an access control system, an alarm system, we have integrations with Omnilert, who you'll be hearing from here soon for guns and weapons detection as well too. They're one of our preferred partners and one of our best partners that we have when it comes to integrating systems. So in summary, it's really the dynamic relationship between the edge and the cloud that ultimately differentiates Spot and enables every camera to run all your AI models on high resolution video, whether that's now or years from now. Now, how we're differentiating ourselves in the market is, let me introduce you to our new product, which is video AI agents. You can think of these agents as additional team members or an extra set of eyes and hands for some of your critical team members. The important thing to understand about these agents is they don't just see what's in your environment. They can understand the context of your environment to automatically solve problems within safety, operations, and security. So going in and actually being conceptually be able to understand, okay, what's happening in the environment, and if something is to happen that fits these parameters that we've identified, how do we go in and automatically respond, whether that's notifying a contact list, turning on sirens and floodlights, locking down your building automatically, playing automated talk down messaging, texting anyone that may need to be involved as well too. These are all native features of our AI that takes it out of your team members' hands and allows our AI to handle this for you. So you can focus on things that are most important to you day to day while also maintaining the integrity and safety and operational efficiency of your business. Now, like I've said, this falls into typically three buckets. So as you can see, there's video AI agents for security. So think of this as being able to secure your building, your school, your facility, whatever it may be. But this will allow you to actively defend against and deter threats to your property by responding to them exactly when they happen. So as we know, catalytic converter theft is something that's very common today. You can go and you can detect this: vandalism, vaping or smoking if you're in a school, fence jumping, weapon detection, loitering, and ultimately unauthorized entry through any access control system or whatnot. These agents can easily go and identify that for you on the security side. Now, on the safety side, where we're starting to see a larger push across the industry, safety is becoming more and more top of mind because it's very difficult to track right now, because what's happening is it's relying on word of mouth and actual individuals reporting safety infractions versus actually proactively seeing them themselves. So with Spot AI, you can protect your employees from injuries and incidents and proactively stop these accidents before they get worse. So within like a manufacturing or distribution facility, you can go in and detect missing personal protective equipment, whether that's a hard hat, a safety vest, closed-toe shoes. You can detect slip, trip, and falls. If you live in, or if you work in a, highly reactive or dangerous facility where you're not supposed to go into certain areas, you can set up no-go zones and automatically be notified if a person enters that area. A forklift near miss. I can't tell you how many times I've gone on and spoken to people who deal with near misses or forklift collisions with people that have resulted in huge injuries and also really hit them hard on the back end of their insurance premiums. Now, the last place I want to focus some time here is actually the operational efficiency piece. Now, this allows you to go in and make sure your facility is a well-oiled machine. Everyone's working the way they're supposed to be working. and there aren't any bottlenecks in your processes that you're going in and reviewing. So this allows you to shorten your downtime, quickly identify root causes of events, and helping teams respond faster to reduce production losses. A funny story is we actually were working with a manufacturer and they couldn't figure out why their second shift was always having less output and less people on the floor than their first shift. So they implemented Spot AI, and ultimately what they came to find is these workers would go from the line all the way into the back room where they had set up a poker table amongst all of the pallets and were playing poker on the second shift. So I'm sure the workers weren't too happy with me being on the Spot AI side for blowing up their poker room, but the business ultimately became happy and became much more operationally efficient in that sense. So this is where you can go in and you can understand, hey, how long has a workstation been unattended? Is there crowding around a machine where it really only needs 2 people, but we have 7 people over there? Are we tailgating? Is there vehicle speeding or going in the wrong direction? This just makes sure that you're going in and ultimately you're taking care of everything you need from an operations standpoint. Now, we've covered everything that we can help you with pretty much inside the building or exteriorly connected to your building. Now, if you have some hard to reach spots within your counties, facilities, at any of your locations, we've actually come out with a solution for some of these more remote locations as well too. And this is our AI remote surveillance unit. This is a pole mounted solution, or we have integrations built out with security trailers as well too. But the big thing here is this has an active deterrence piece and also can go in and detect those safety and operational pieces that we just touched on. So it's completely configured with 3 bullet cameras with colored night vision. It also has strobe lights and red and blue flashing lights on it to actively deter against any crime that may be happening, whether it's in a parking lot, in a truck yard, in a local park, whatever it may be. And it also has a bullhorn talk down with escalating messages that continually escalate until the person or whatever it may be actually leaves the premise. So this allows you to reach those hard to reach areas that typically you need wiring and cable and other things to run to ultimately accomplish this. Now, how this looks is similar to the AI agents, right? So it allows you to actively detect and deter crime with these customizable AI workflows. So if you want to go in and you want to detect something like loitering behind your building, you can go in and you can do this, and then you can also add actions to that. So when loitering is detected, we want to go in and we want to lock down the building. We want to notify security guards or our safety team that ultimately go in and handle this, or the police department. We can trigger a SOC to call 911. We can turn on the alarm. We can turn on strobe lights. And then what our remote surveillance unit can do from there is automatically start deterring it after it notifies you, right? So talking down through the bullhorn, playing the red and blue flashing lights, turning on the strobe lights, activating the alarms. These are all ways that our AI is working in conjunction to make sure that we're securely locking down the premise for your team while you may be at home making dinner with your family, whatever it may be. We automatically are going to go in there and help you. So what this ultimately means for you and your team is reducing incidents occurrence. We have heard it reduces incidents by up to 70%, saving you money on security spending, whether that's security guards, cameras, whatever it may be, saving money on cabling and trenching, and ultimately making customers and teams feel safer. Now, I'll be fielding questions at the end of this webinar, but ultimately, if you need me, my email address is right there, and I'd be happy to start any conversations with anyone that this may have piqued interest. So I appreciate you guys letting me present to you on Spot AI, and I look forward to sticking around for the rest of the webinar.
All right, thank you, Jack. All right, appreciate as far as the presentation. Well done. Okay, our next presenter, okay, is Eric, and Eric Polovich is the Director of Sales Operation with Omnilert. With him is Jen Hardy. She is the Gun to Tech National Account Executive. So welcome, Eric and Jen. I will turn it over to you.
All righty. Thank you very much. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about Omnilert's active shooter protection system, Omnilert Gun Detect. We are a partner with Spot AI, fully integrated and available through Cordicate. First off, a little bit about Omnilert. Omnilert is 20-year veteran of the life safety solution industry. We actually got our start back in 2004 as a mass notification product. That means that we've been doing emergency communication for 2 decades now. We had got our start. We were founded because of a desire to keep people safe in the university environment, and that really expanded to wherever they were, especially after the 2007 Virginia Tech incident. Our director of artificial intelligence, Chad, had a family member whose life was unfortunately lost during the Sandy Hook incident. That really led us to Gun Detect, which was a fruition of his dream of bringing the technology that he'd been working with the Department of Defense home to the U.S. And our Gun Detect product is a artificial intelligence driven firearm detection and response system. It uses artificial intelligence on your usually existing IP camera systems to detect a weapon in frame much in the same way that a human being does, by seeing it. And then using that 20 years of communications and integration experience, we facilitate a very quick human in the loop review and an automated response. All of this is really, to take advantage of the surveillance systems that folks already have in place. And the, secret or no, we've got nearly 90 million security cameras in the US, and the vast majority of those don't have a set of human eyes on them. The old idea of a security operations center with a wall of monitors and a team of people watching them, looking to prevent crime is just an illusion in today's reality. What we want to do is we want to take those systems that now are used for largely forensic purposes, going back to the tape to see what happened and learn from it, and turn those into prevention devices by plugging in a second set of eyes, in this case, artificial intelligent eyes. Our software works in an end-to-end scenario. We're not just saying, hey, there's a gun. We're taking action. We use our AI. We use our redundant call centers. We use our integrations with local police responders to make that happen. I think the best way to really understand that is to dive in and take a look at how that breaks down. It starts with our artificial intelligence detecting a weapon. And our AI has a pretty good pedigree. It got its start, as I said, the technology in the Middle East, detecting missiles moving at about 200 meters per second. We didn't just take an AI model and load it with pictures of guns and say, hey, go find this. This is a purpose-built multi-step detection algorithm that uses real-world data to identify firearms in frame. We're talking about blink and you miss it moments, guns that are flashed out of a pocket, transferred from a locker into a bag, from the back of a car into a backpack. We're not just looking for guns. We're looking for several thousand firearm profiles, handguns and long guns, both rifles, shotguns, pistols, revolvers. But we're also looking for benign objects like that torque wrench we saw there, so that we can sort the wheat from the chaff. We know whether something is a gun or something is not a gun. Thirdly, we're looking for context so that we can refine that detection. You'll notice here that holstered weapon ignored, but as soon as the hand makes the connection, we see that weapon in hand for a pistol, we identify very quickly. We're designed for the real world, whether you're talking about, a couple people standing in front of the camera, hundreds or tens of thousands of people moving in front of the camera on a daily basis. Our system identifies a weapon in a third of a second and then gets that information where it needs to be, into the hands of people that can use that information seconds later. Like I said, the idea of an individual sitting in front of a bank of cameras looking for problems is a thought of the past. Even if there is a rotator going on, it's most likely your most common cameras, your busiest scenes, and they're going from one to another very quickly. Having a human being sort through that information just isn't in the cards any longer. We are designed to work with not just the most recent cameras, multi-sensor domes, pan-tilt zooms, moving cameras, things like that, but any camera that can get us a RTSP stream, a digital feed of a sufficient quality, whether that's the best and brightest from companies like Hanwha or Axis, or even the new Spot AI cameras, or something you purchased off the shelf at Costco. We like 1080p or better feeds. We like real-time frame rate when we can get it. Higher resolution camera simply means we're going to be able to detect further from the lens. Once that AI detects that weapon, happening very quickly, we move on to human in the loop verification, which can take place in a number of places. We can certainly put it in that old school security operations center that you've got running on your premises, bring it up on your video management system, bring it up on that video wall that you've got, integrate with those other on-prem systems. Most of the time, about 85% of our customers go with Omnilert Professional Monitoring. That's going to be a series of geographically dispersed, technologically redundant central stations that can take that information in and very, very quickly verify and take action, up to and including triggering local responses and escalating directly to first responders in a programmatic method. That's going to be a PSAP connection, getting that video, that image, that location, that information directly into the hands of local dispatchers and in formats that are compatible with mobile terminals and in-car systems. In other words, that detection media within about 10 seconds is going to make it directly from your camera into the hands of the responding officers. We've got a verification average in 2024 of 11 seconds from the time a weapon steps in front of the camera till the time we've triggered a response. Just as a note here, when it comes to working with partners like Spot AI, we have a lot of different integrations, the ability that when a gun is detected, that we can push back into their environment, taking advantage of things like bookmarking and alarming, and those integrations built through our partner applications. Of course, simultaneously, we can trigger things from Omnilert, whether that's our on-premises device or from the cloud. Thirdly, that's a part of our activation process, with the goal being of pushing out a full unified response. And we've got the ability to integrate with many, many technologies, access control, alarm systems, notification platforms, other cloud platforms, local devices. This is above and beyond notifying people on premises and making sure those first responders are inbound. We have got over 50 first-party integrations at this point, an open API, and we are always bringing on new partners. We work in a very large ecosystem of partners to make that happen. Our goal is to leverage your existing technology, help you improve, not rip and replace. We have the ability, when it comes to that response, to push out in a number of different methods from a number of different locations. I talk a little bit about workflows, how our end-to-end works. If we're working with a partner like Spot AI, we can certainly do that for local verification, letting those local teams already in front of that VMS take care of things like verification, or making them a part of the Omnilert process, including them as a notification endpoint so that when that gun is detected, Omnilert monitoring takes over. 10 or so seconds later, it goes down into those local resources, alerting people on-prem as we alert local first responders and other inbound assistance. And much like Jack talked about before, if there is any questions for us directly, you can certainly hit that QR code there, which will get you just an overview of the Omnilert platform, or you can reach out to Jen. She is the sales manager that is taking care of the Cordicate account, and we can move on to Q&A whenever you're ready, Jack.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Eric. Okay. I will check and see what we have as far as any Q&A questions. Okay. Let's see. All right. So does Omnilert work with existing solutions, or do I need Spot AI? And how do I integrate with my existing systems?
So when it comes to utilizing our artificial intelligence, that process, we do usually work with existing camera systems. If you've got an IP-based camera system out there that can give us an RTSP stream, these days that's going to be most of the cameras out there. We should be able to run detection on it in some way, shape, or form. I didn't go into technical specifications too heavily, but it all comes down to the resolution and the frame rate that we're getting from that camera. That's going to tell us how well we're going to perform. 720p and above cameras should be able to detect in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, we have further detection on 1080p, 4K, etc. When it comes to integration, we don't require Spot AI. We do partner with them pretty closely, as we do with a lot of VMS systems out there. So it's definitely not necessary, but we do give you the ability to take advantage of that gun detection with all of Spot AI's other capabilities. For more questions, you can certainly reach out directly to us or reach out to someone at Cordicate and they can arrange a conversation.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions in regards to it. No, I check a chat. Okay, I think we're good. All right, I appreciate as far as everybody's time. Okay, Jeff Moser, Joe Peters, or JT Orenson will contact you. Okay, about as far as a Spot AI camera and free trial or a demo from Omnilert. I want to thank everybody for your time and have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye now.